his debut, Jarno Opmeer wins at Spa.
It's Martinez in Montreal. David beats Goliath.
It's a true underdog story. John Evans wins at Mexico.
And it's Super Sam Corby who takes the PlayStation Championship.
FRA Ronhard takes his first WOR Championship. He is your Xbox champion.
And Jake Benham is a two-time WOR champion.
Dobbin around the outside operated line shadow. His contact again. Ronhard is around.
Bethany, surely is going to win here at Abu Dhabi. He does.
16 races across 5 continents. From Brazil to Belgium and Bahrain to Britain. Soon this story starts. Across 3 platforms, hundreds will begin the quest. The quest in search of glory and the right to be called a WOR champion. Lights out, and we're racing in Season 12.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Tier 3 of the WOR Championship, where we're going to be heading to Britain. Now, this comes to a new set of ears, a new voice of commentary. My name's Hyperactive, and I will be your commentator for today, as I have taken the dive into Tier 3. If you're familiar with any of this streaming, you might see me into Tier 5. That's where I'm doing most of my work commonly, but enough about that tier. We're getting more serious, more precise, and definitely higher quality racing. This season has been an absolutely amazing championship. I've had a look at the results that have come in, and I can see from what's been put in front of me, Flying Rossi out with a lead, but it's not done just yet. With 2 races to go, the championship is still technically up for grabs. I haven't done the maths to what is needed for the championship to be won, but I wouldn't say it's too far away to say that this Flying Rossi needs to win this race, and he's then guaranteed himself a great the championship here today. With 30, I think it's the gap being, it's been updated actually. Oh, it's only 10.5, so 25 points, rough math here. Someone could probably help me out somewhere along the lines, but it's not too far away. Talking of the championship, the person behind him is Adam Dool. Now, driving that Williams, being very ferocious. I see that he's only got 2 wins technically, but a bunch load of second places, helping him to stay within this championship battle. A couple of no points finishes for the likes of Flying Rossi. That's what's brought him back down. Now, for the regular viewers, you know this. This is like plain knowledge to you. But for someone like me who's recently joined, I look forward and I want to hear in the chat what you think is going to happen today in this British race. A track that is very, very technical, but at the same time, pleasure to drive, especially when you nail it. If you're someone like me who doesn't nail it, well, you end up being about a second slower than everyone else. But that's beside the point. The track itself is gorgeous with different array of challenging corners, braking points that aren't always in the correct areas. You have sometimes braking literally just as the turn happens, which is going to be just before Luffield, the braking point before there. You tend to brake a little bit into the corner while you're going round. That being said, the next track after Brazil is another technical track. So the calendar, as you can see onto your left, we've kind of almost gone in a way of some of the easier ones at the start and really getting technical at the end, with the likes of Portugal, Saudi, France, and then the most technicals being Britain and Brazil, most commonly used as time trial tracks. But, as I said, this race is massively important for the championship. This could be a deciding race here today. I'm going to try and do the maths here. Because with a lead of 10.5, 25 points in favour of Flying Rossi will put him at 35 points, assuming Adam does not score. So, if Adam does not score and Flying Rossi wins, he will get the win. Keep going up. I think you have... Adam will have to get a win today to stay in the championship. As well as... It's going to be a lot. I said I'm doing quick maths, guys. I'm doing quick maths on my head. As it seems to be, just for information of why this is extended 5 minutes past the race start time, the lobby has been a bit messy. So we're just waiting for them to join. But guys, make your predictions in the chat. I'll get my words out eventually. To who you think will be winning today. Unfortunately, another side note to mention, I am solo, so I do apologise if my voice goes and breaks. I have been ill recently. I'm just getting my excuses out early. As we wait for the last couple of drivers to get into seats before we head into this race. Of which we've got 15 in the lobby, and I believe we've got a full pack today. Yeah, we've got 20 drivers here, so a few people remaining, so we shouldn't be too long. Seems they're a bit of a problem. We'll put you back to an intermission for a little bit, but when we come back, we'll be getting straight into this race. Well, we are back. We are running. The lobbies is up and running. We do apologise for the long wait. It seems to be a problem with the servers. But that being said, we head into the British Grand Prix, held at the world's most iconic track. Now, okay, some people would say Monaco's the most iconic, but trust me, Silverstone has been around for the same amount of time and has changed over the time. This is the latest version, of course, no additional changes since 2020, I believe. But the track has held such great racing and such drama. A tyre-heavy track indeed. This track is 3.66 miles with 18 challenging turns, some of which very easily can put your car into the spin. This track has very limited elevation, and very heavy on your cornering. We've seen a few great drivers take the win in the Tier 1 era, looking at Shadow, Corby and Lutt, bringing out the best of the best, and this track has been in the calendar almost I believe, every season since this game has been out. We bring it back to the 2018 game, where we saw title rivals collide on the 24th lap, going round Stowe, and on the exits, the McLaren of V0 just takes out Pinecone right towards the end. And if you think the battle gets further down, well, you just continue racing and bang right into the braking zone. You can swing it around the outside before you get into left field, and bang, the overtake will happen. They're ready. They're in the pits. It's going to be a short qualifying for the people who don't know how this session goes. Short qualifying, 18 minutes of high octane pace, where the drivers will have to put in their best lap time to get pole position. This determines the race ahead. Now, who is going to be the first ones out? That's the question. It looks to be a Williams, so it's going to be, I believe, Cheetah. No, it's an Alpine. One day I'll learn these colours. This track is not easy. I've mentioned this before and I'll reiterate it again. It's one of those that is fairly technical. You've got to manage those braking points correctly, taking account if you are new to F1 and the esports scene. Tier 3 is a tier where they do not have any assists, and not only that, their view is literally like this. No line, no nothing. They're relying on pure knowledge of braking zones. So those billboards are going to be very, very helpful. So, lap times we're looking here today. Well, I think we're going to be looking around the 26. Maybe we could be seeing some 25s. Or it's standard as a 25 around here, but 26 is definitely a guaranteed time around this track. As we're waiting for Cheetah to come across the start-finish as he goes through Stowe and into Vale. This is where the championship titles in 2018 tangled together. We might be seeing some overtakes around that corner, but through we go, the final couple of corners. As you put the foot down, you've got to make sure you don't spin it. And the first lap is on its way. Going through what will be Abbey. You shift up. Some drivers like to stay into 7th gear and extend the gear around the corner. These drivers like to stick it in 8th. Through the new chicane. I call it the new chicane because it was recently added, as I said, into 2020. Power it out of the corner down to the first DRS straight. The Wellington straight. Power it down into Brooklands. Heavy braking around just after the 50-meter board. Swing it in. And then through Luffield. Again, this is kind of a mid-braking point. You kind of dab the brakes and then power it out. We're going through the old start finish where the joys of to have the race starting here was quite interesting. Not a great first corner, not a lot of battles happening through there, but through cops, and technically the track limit should have detected that, but they're very loose on that corner. Through Maggots, Beckett's, and through Chapel here, it's looking tight, it's looking clean. Cheetah might be on for a good time. A 1:03 through the second sector we go. Into Stowe. Keep it nice and clean, close to the corner as you can, using as much curb on the exit and into the apex. Into the final couple of corners. What's the benchmark going to be today? It's looking good. 23, 24. Is it going to be a 26? It's a 26.7, so it's a decent bench time. But it's going to hold its position as of right now. As I think I'm somewhere right with the 26s. 25 maybe slightly unrealistic. But this is only the first run, and we're seeing a lot of the drivers are going out on the medium tyres. As I'll quickly just show you guys. Oh no, they were on softs. But the other drivers, you can see that RX Thick? Why do people have to have crazy names? Rifix? Don't know how you pronounce your name. Going across the line, he's on the mediums, demonstrating a 127. So the mediums are stuck in this 27 era, while the softs are looking at 26s. As unfortunately, Adam, fighting for this championship, he needs to be at the top. He needs to get pole today to have a chance at winning this championship. Otherwise, this man, Flying Rossi, who's out on a lap, will be winning it today. And he's got a comfortable lead, a 10-point lead, which is very, very handy right now. Let's see what his lap is going to look like. I think this is a push lap for him. Keeping it nice and tight, but just clips too much of the curb going into Brooklands, and that's invalidated his lap. So both championship contenders invalidating their first run, but this is their first run, so there is more to come. Harv going in second. He's put in a very good time, only being 600th of a second behind Cheetah. Cheetah putting in a brilliant time. Humpkins, what's he got? He's only got 11th fastest. Was that a banker lap? He does look like he's pushing it, so I feel that was a banker lap to start off with, and we're going to be seeing another lap coming out, which is a bit odd, doing 2 laps on the softs. Could there be a mistake? We don't know. It's open to suggestions. Few drivers already into the pits. As I said, Adam didn't set a lap. We've got Ruben also in the pits. I think he invalidated as well on his first run. You can usually get about 3 runs in qualifying. If you're really pushing it, you can go for 4, but you would be pushing it to the limit to get 4 runs in. As the Humpkins, however you, so difficult names today, just like keeps it nice and clean, going through Cops and keeping it within the lines, through Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel. Fluid, clean, and it seems to be a purple middle, so this might be a very competitive time as he approaches the line. Cheetah with a 126.7, that is the time to beat. Round Stowe into Vale. Can he put this Aston Martin onto pole? Rounds the final corner. Is it enough? It looks decent. It's ever so close. It's 6,000th of a second behind. Ever so close. Actually, no, it's, yeah, 6,000ths of a second. So close, but no cigar to taking pole. But that is on the first run of today. And a lot of the top runners are going for that soft. So none of them are playing strategy by going on for the mediums. They're going pure softs. Let's do what we can on it. Believe that is, yeah. The only people who've gone strategy, but I feel they may go again, is typical Kevin. And Flying Rossi finally puts a lap time, but he's 6 tenths down on a set of softs. So not what you want to see on that run. Steve is not on a lap at the moment. Who's not set a lap? Rossi's not set a lap. He's about to come round. 103 in the second sector. That's not going to be strong enough, as we've seen drivers in the 102 in the mids. So is this going to be top 10 worthy? It's on medium, so he's playing strategy. He's 1 second behind. It's a harder tyre to work on, but in terms of strategy, we'll be seeing a medium soft strategy for the back runners, or the common strategy for the front runners is the soft mediums. Who else is on a flying lap? Is Flying Rossi on the lap? No, he's 4 seconds down. Typical's just crossed the start-finish line. He'll be the next driver to go around the Silverstone circuit, trying to improve from P8. He's on the softs, so he will push as much as he can through going on to the Wellington Straight. What is his first sector looking like? Competitive. He's 4 tenths up. That's exactly what you need on the start. This is looking like a pole sitting time as he goes a little bit wide through Luffield. It's still keeping it under control. Cut as much as you can through the exit as you go into Copse. Is he going to keep it within the white lines? He is. Nicely done. Through Maggot. Again, cutting as much, going across the curb. Cut as much as you can through the next one. And then round Beckett. Keeping the speed flowing without losing too much. He's 6 tenths up. This is looking to be the new pole position. He just needs to put it across the line. Round Stowe through Vale. Cheetah gets out the way. He's on an outlap, so we will be popping over to Cheetah to see what he can do in a second. Round the final corner we go. It's looking competitive. It looks absolutely amazing. A 126.3. Typical. Pulling out the pace and showing what he's made of. Nath not pulling out the laps at the moment. He's apparently a 10th down. Can he pull anything on the last bits of his lap? We're going to quickly jump to his teammate, who's just invalidated on the exit of Vale. Nath fails to improve. He's still in P5. But we want to quickly look at the championship contender, Adam, who again has invalidated on his lap. He might, and I think he is going to go for one more lap though. And this, Adam needs to put in a good lap. He needs to be at the top. He needs that high of the low 126s right now. We're going to stay on board with Adam through his lap as he tries, as I said, to get as high up as possible. Flying Rossi at the moment, currently in the pits. So he is not out here to set a lap just yet. Adam navigating the first sector fairly nicely. Maintaining a lot of speed. Is it looking competitive though? Going through the marker 27. It's decent. It is a decent lap time. And again, we're seeing a couple of drivers playing it quite wide. A little bit wider than they could do through Luffield. And we have to now see, is these tyres going to stay within the lines into Copse? Yes, they are. 102 in the second sector is very competitive. What has Adam got here? He's invalidated. Not where he does not need to invalidate. He's done it once again. I think he's been caught out by that corner time and time again. And Adam has once again, he's going to have to go into the pits now. This is not looking comfortable. It's not looking good. As Nick Chris is going to set a new fastest lap, going to 126.337. Brilliant time. As the Humpad is once again on a flying lap. He's had assistance by his teammate Harv, so we might be seeing a pretty decent time here. Around the corner, 124, 125. This is looking very good. It's a 126.6. is a slight improvement, puts him up to P4, gaining 1 position. Kevin is not on a lap. Who is needing to put in a good time? Liam is making some ground. He's knocking 2 tenths off. But Liam needs to knock off a lot more. But that's only in the first sector. So there's a lot of work he can do here. A lot of time to gain. He's running on the softs. And I know his first couple of runs were on those mediums. Not getting caught out by the eat. Ooh. That ain't helpful. He does go purple, technically, even though I know that's not a true purple because it's a 102. Liam is still going for his lap. Even though we just saw him go massively wide. No, he's bailing out from there. So who are we waiting for a lap? So, Savoya has not set a lap. Adam Dude not set a lap, and Ruben has not set a lap. Not helpful for themselves. They need to set laps to somewhat so be competitive. The only driver on a flying lap, well, I think Rossi's not on a lap at the moment, as Steven is cutting the corners. Don't know what's happening there. But a lot of the drivers in the pits, a couple on the out laps. It's this man once again. I'll keep dropping back to him, as well as Flying Rossi, who is in the pits. I can't show you him at the moment, but Adam, dude, you need to get something in. So at the moment, it's not working all too well. It's not looking competitive for him. There's no drivers. Less Jarvin. Yes, Jarvin is on a flying lap. And already +7 to start things off. Plus 0.7 seconds on your first sector is not a strong start. And I wouldn't be surprised if he aborts this lap and goes for another retake. Because we're going to see the drivers doing their final runs. 2 minutes 35 left on the clock. The final runs are going to start to begin. A lot of drivers are coming out of the pit lane. Nick Chris also coming out. He's got to defend that beautiful time. Can this man go any faster? Are we going to be seeing cars dip into the 125s? Or is this beyond the limits of the drivers? Harv out on a lap. He's going to be one of the first of the runners to go for a lap. And it's a very busy track to do it on. Driver ahead of him is either Nick Chris or Flying Rossi. I think it's Flying Rossi ahead of him. And he's going positive. So it's a great start by Harv. His teammate up in 4th. He needs to find the time to push himself higher up. He's one of the earlier drivers. So he will be setting a benchmark for the other competitors. Into Cops we go. Could have used more exit. I feel there was a lot of lift there. Compensating for not invalidating. It's going to cost him dramatically to not use the exit. How much, to be precise, is decent. It's a 102.8 in the second sector. So there might be something coming of this. As he is going to come round Stowe. Into Vale he'll go. Not going too wide. That's what you need. Round the final couple of corners. What is this lap time? It's looking decent, but I don't think it'll be the best. Round the final corner, it's 3rd fastest at 126.4. I do apologise for the viewers for my coughing. As I said, I've only just got off from being ill. As finally Adam Dude sets a lap time. He is nearly 3 tenths down though. And he does have one more chance to set a lap time if he can. Flying Rossi still out on his flying lap. As that's a Red Bull into the wall. And not where you want it. I don't know how he's ended up in the wall. Kevin putting in a decent time to start things off, but it's slowly dropped down. Currently in P9. What can he improve for today's qualifying? rounding the final corner. It's going to be competitive. It's good enough for 5th fastest, as he will be the first driver to completely finish his qualifying session. We haven't spoken much about the race, the championship leader, Flying Rossi. He's not making any gains at the moment. He's currently P15. Not a strong lap from him. I don't think he's going to gain much here because he was 3/10 up on his time. We're going to have to see his second sector time, but I don't have confidence, to be honest, guys. So if you're waving the McLaren flag right now, wave it for Nick. But Flying Rossi needs to do something. His typical goes for a 1:26.1. He's definitely pushing hard. Are we going to see the 1:25s? As yeah, Flying Rossi is going to be nowhere near the lap time he needs to be, as he is going to invalid. He's not going to even get it possibly into the top 10. Who is about to cross the live? I think that is Steven. He is looking positive. Is it positive enough? It's enough for P9. So he's within the top 10, but there's a few drivers still out on laps. That's a +3. I don't think that's going to be a competitive no. 2 seconds off the time. Better stay 13th. You get tyre strategy choice. The last driver is this man who goes into the pits, but from our championship contenders, not a great performance from them. We will probably see them in race pace, but typical, taking the win. Finding the pace last second. Showing a 1:26.1. Nick Chris coming 2/10 slower, but Nick Chris holding down a brilliant time. Harv in 3rd, Naf in 4th, Amazad in 5th, Kevin 6th, Adam Dude, our 2nd place in the championship, in 7th, Humppad in 8th, Stevie in 9th, Cheetah, who came out strong, finds himself in 10th. As the board goes away, I do apologise if I keep pausing. I can't talk for too long before my throat starts to hurt. So I do apologise. This is definitely not going to be a true representation of my performance. Where was I at? Savoya in 11th. Limp Jet in 12th. Almost like a fax code. I will DM him and try and find out how to pronounce his name, because I really don't want to insult these drivers. In 13th. Blackley, Blacksea in 14th. Ryan in 15th. Flying Rossi with probably not the best performance he wants to see in 16th. Ruben in 17th. Rossi in 18th. Liam Hardman in 19th. And Jarvin in 20th. All the front runners going to be starting on the softs, which then leads to the question, what are the rear 10 going to do with their strategy? Which there's really only 2 options for this race, is what they can do strategy wise. So the ones out up front, we're 100% going to see the softs to medium strategy come out into play. Now, because the mediums, it's only a soft medium race, it then means the back lot have the option to either go medium softs. The thing is, you can really extend those softs quite early. You're looking at, you could go lap 14 and still run the softs. Yes, you'd be compromised near the end if you went for medium soft, this is. So pit on mediums to lap 14 and then go soft to the end. You could do that. Realistically, you want to go to the mediums to lap 16. It's the 26 lap race. Go to lap 16, and then you've got some lot fresher tyres. Lap 15, 16, somewhere around there. You've got some fresher tyres, which will be more competitive. You're only running 11 to 10 laps on them, but they're still nice and competitive level. Vice versa. Do 10 laps to start off with and run the rest on mediums if you're going for the soft medium strategy. We're probably not going to see any hards. The only time really the hards might come in play is if we have a lap 1 safety car and somebody's on the softs or mediums or whichever tyre, and they just screw it up. Of which the hards, in theory, could do the entire race. And that's the only time we're really going to see it. But that is a complete plan Zeta. What Z is on the phonetic alphabet. Zulu. A plan Zulu strategy is to go and use those hard tyres. And I would be very surprised if any of these drivers decide to pull out the hard tyre. I might be wrong. You know what? I like to be proven wrong. For somebody to go, you know what? Have it. There's the hard tyre. But I don't see it happening. I really do not. Hand on heart can say that ain't going to happen. Into the formation lap we go. And finally, we're going to see it happen. There you can see on your screen. Ignore the bottom section. Lap 10, 13 for the soft runners. They're going to see themselves going in. Let's have a look. What are these people going on? So, of course, the front top 10 have to start on the tyres that they qualified on. Otherwise, you know, it's part of the 2021 rules. Of course, I know, yes, 2022's out. Well, it's coming out. We're following by those rules. So, the top 10 have to run on the tyres they qualified on, which is the softs. We are only seeing Ruben and Rossi in 17th and 18th also sticking to the softs. So, they want to go punchy at the start, try and gain some early positions, and to be competitive and gain some early points. Now, that will be compromising because the rest of the pack at the back are running on those mediums, so they can run a lot longer, hence building up their gap. So, there's a two-way path of going here. It's going to be quite interesting because there are a lot of great drivers. Flying Rossi down in 16th. I know he will probably gain some positions here, and he will definitely want to push ahead and try and get some early overtakes done and over with. That being said, the front two, Typical and Nick, going to be going up head to head into the first corner, and it's going to be an interesting first corner as they head through Abbey and through Farm, as it's the real actual first braking zone is into Village. So we're not going to see necessarily an overtake through Abbey. We might see it go side by side, but the overtakes are really going to start to see it on Village, and of course the whole slow bit around there we'll see it through Loop and then through Antry. I am totally not reading off a map. As the leader lines up to his grid slot, we're seeing there is a slight gap from, I think it is, Ruben. There's a slight gap there. It's not too much, nothing major. But it's going to make the leaders have just a slightly colder tyre than the rest of the pack. And that's the unfortunate bit of being at the front, is you have to have the colder tyres going into this race, as we're just waiting for the game to sync up. As there we go, the game finally syncs up. There's 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And they're off, and it seems to be a decent launch from the McLaren. He goes defensive as he's trying to push the Mercedes round the outside. My game was just frozen for a second, jumped ahead, and Nick had taken the lead of the race. And down the inside, Harv is going to push wide. But Nick, by an unenforced error, goes wide, allowing Typical to come straight back at him, and will have a brilliant run through the hangar straight. An unenforced error costing Nick definitely potentially a position here, as I do apologize, my game's a bit laggy for some reason. Luckily, the unenforced error from Nick has not cost him too much, and he's able to hold now the race win. Why the hell is my game freezing like this? I literally cannot see anything that's happening right now. I don't think it's going to be looking pretty on your screen either. Is the game running fine now? I think it's running fine. I think it's all fixed. But that being said, Flying Rossi, is, as the host is migrating, that is why Harv has left the session. And it's a... No, it's a desync. It's either a desync at my end, or it's a mass desync. I am not 100% here. I will question it, as all of them are left. I think I've been the one that's caught on a desync because these drivers are all ghosts in my eyes. And I have posed the question into the chat, and I do apologize to you guys because these are all ghosts. Yeah, this has been a mass desync on my end, and the race has unfortunately been ruined for us. One time I get tier 3 and this is going to happen. I am questioning it to them all. Unfortunately, all the tier coordinators are probably still racing. I have posed it forward. I don't think he's going to read it. Due to that, and it's so annoying because it was going to be lining up to being a great race. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to end this slightly earlier than expected due to the desync problem, unless we get confirmation saying that we'll get it back in. There's not much I can say. That it is frustratingly annoying, you know, because I want to watch this race happen. I want to commentate it as well, but unfortunately, Codemasters have not fixed their game and are purely focused on their new one. So I don't think anything's going to happen, and we're going to have to allow these guys to race, and we're going to find out the results. Maybe there may be a championship winner. We'll be hearing it on Twitter, so stay tuned on Twitter. Go to WOR, type that into your Twitter, World Online Racing, and you will find us on Twitter. If you're not subscribed, do hit the subscribe button. There is plenty of racing that happens on here, including Tier 1. Tier 1 happens on Monday, and if you're not subscribed to watch the Tier 1, then come on, man. You know you want to see Tier 1. As I said, I do apologise for the unfortunate desync on my end, but what can you do about it? What can you do?